Why whales are dying in the San Francisco Bay, a growing concern. Imagine a tragic dinner party on a busy highway. This is the grim reality for whales in the San Francisco Bay. In 2025, the Bay Area has become a hotspot for whale enthusiasts, with numerous gray whale sightings near the iconic Golden Gate Bridge. The Marine Mammal Center reports an impressive count of over 30 individual whales this year, a stark contrast to the mere 6 spotted in the estuary in the previous year. However, this surge in whale activity brings with it a darker side, a significant increase in boat collisions, often resulting in fatalities. Shockingly, almost 25 whale carcasses have been found in the San Francisco Bay Area alone this year, more than doubling the 2024 figures, and marking the highest number since the Marine Mammal Center began its record-keeping in 2019. The remains have predominantly been discovered in the bay, with some washing ashore from Pescadero to Bolinas. But why this sudden influx of whales? It's a question that puzzles experts like Mo Flannery, a marine mammal necropsy specialist at the California Academy of Sciences. The rise in local whale traffic is particularly surprising given that the population of northern Pacific gray whales is at a historic low. Between 2019 and 2023, their numbers plummeted by about 40%, a phenomenon classified as an unusual mortality event, bringing their population to the lowest levels since the 1970s. Experts point to climate change as a key factor, reducing the availability of quality prey, primarily shrimp-like crustaceans, in the whales' Arctic feeding grounds. This scarcity of food might be pushing more whales into the bay in search of sustenance. Michael Pearson, a field operations specialist with the Oceanic Society, notes that whales feed exclusively in summer. Those who didn't adequately nourish themselves last summer may be running on empty during their migration back to the Arctic from Mexico, where they breed and give birth, leading them to venture into the bay. We might be observing a new behavior where gray whales stop in the San Francisco Bay to feed before heading to Alaska, Flannery suggests, though she emphasizes that this theory remains unconfirmed. But seeking a meal in the bay puts these whales in direct conflict with shipping vessels, ferries, and other large ships navigating the area. Alarmingly, ship strikes have accounted for nearly half of the whale deaths recorded this year, with the cause of death for most others remaining undetermined. It's as if these whales are trying to dine in the midst of a bustling freeway, Pearson remarks. To address this critical issue, experts are set to gather in Sausalito this week. Their agenda includes identifying potential gaps in research, enhancing scientific collaboration, and reinforcing ongoing efforts to ensure whale safety, according to a spokesperson from the Marine Mammal Center. Interestingly, no representatives from the San Francisco Bay Ferry or the shipping industry will be present at these meetings. However, experts may propose recommendations for modifying ship routes. Flannery highlights some progress made this year, such as increased communication between vessels and the rerouting of ferry traffic on certain weekends to avoid whale activity. Yet, she acknowledges that these measures often depend on the captain's discretion, and not all vessels slow down or alter their course to protect whales. Nobody wants to hit a whale, Flannery asserts, but with changing circumstances, we all need to adapt and modify our behaviors accordingly. Max Harrison Caldwell can be contacted at max@standard.com. Gray whale deaths soar to 25-year high in San Francisco Bay Area. Alarming surge. Gray whale fatalities reach 25-year high in San Francisco Bay region. San Francisco, California. The Marine Mammal Center reports that researchers have documented an alarming 21 gray whale deaths in the San Francisco Bay Area during this year alone, marking the highest mortality rate in a quarter-century. The most recent casualty was discovered on July 7 in Richmond, with preliminary findings suggesting a collision with a vessel as the likely cause of death, according to a joint announcement Thursday from the Sausalito-headquartered Mammal Center and the California Academy of Sciences. This troubling milestone represents the greatest number of gray whale casualties since 2000 and comes at a particularly vulnerable time for the species' overall population, researchers emphasized. And this is the part most people miss. These deaths aren't isolated incidents, but part of a broader ecological concern. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has recently updated its population assessment, revealing that eastern North Pacific grey whale numbers continue to deteriorate, falling to approximately 13,000 individuals, the lowest count recorded since the 1970s. But here's where it gets controversial. Scientists are still debating whether this decline represents a natural population fluctuation or a more serious conservation emergency. The Richmond specimen, identified as a subadult female in healthy physical condition, was located floating beneath the Richmond Long Wharf near the Richmond San Rafael Bridge. On Thursday, the whale was transported to Angel Island State Park, where scientific experts will conduct a thorough examination to establish the definitive cause of death. These necropsies are crucial for understanding whether these deaths share common factors that might point to broader environmental issues affecting the species. What do you think is behind this troubling trend? Is this a natural population cycle, or should we be more concerned about human impacts on these magnificent marine mammals? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Copyright symbol 2025 Bay City News Incorporated. All rights reserved. Republication, rebroadcast or redistribution without the express written consent of Bay City News Incorporated is prohibited. Bay City News is a 24/7 news service covering the Greater Bay Area. 21 grey whales found dead in SF Bay, highest since 2000. Alarming whale crisis. San Francisco Bay's devastating marine tragedy unfolds. Imagine a marine ecosystem crying out in silent desperation. In a shocking revelation that has marine biologists and environmental experts deeply concerned, the San Francisco Bay Area is witnessing an unprecedented grey whale mortality event that demands our immediate attention. This year has already seen a staggering 21 grey whale deaths, the highest number recorded since the turn of the millennium. But here's where it gets truly alarming. This isn't just a random statistical blip. It's a potential harbinger of a much deeper ecological crisis. The Marine Mammal Center, a renowned research institution based in Sausalito, has been meticulously tracking these heartbreaking losses. Their most recent discovery: a subadult female whale found floating near the Richmond Long Wharf, suspected to have fallen victim to a vessel strike. This tragic incident was carefully documented and the whale was transported to Angel Island State Park for a comprehensive scientific investigation. But the story goes beyond this single heartbreaking event. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has released population estimates that paint an even more troubling picture. The eastern North Pacific grey whale population has plummeted to approximately 13,000, a number that represents the lowest count since the 1970s. What's driving this dramatic decline? Scientists are scrambling to understand the complex web of factors that could be contributing to these massive whale deaths. Is it climate change disrupting marine ecosystems? Increased maritime traffic? Changes in food availability? Or a combination of multiple environmental stresses? The latest whale, found on July 7 in Richmond, represents more than just a statistic. It's a poignant reminder of the fragile balance of our marine ecosystems and the urgent need for conservation efforts. Provocative questions for reflection. Are we witnessing the early stages of a potential marine species collapse? What responsibility do we, as a society, bear in protecting these magnificent marine mammals? How can individual actions contribute to preserving marine biodiversity? We invite marine biologists, environmental experts, and concerned citizens to share their insights. What do you think is happening in the San Francisco Bay? Your perspective could be crucial in understanding and potentially mitigating this crisis. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work together to unravel this marine mystery.